Hi guys, before I jump into this round of Bookardy, I just want to pay my respects to the wonderful Alex Trebek. You'll be deeply missed. I absolutely grew up on Jeopardy, loved every second of it, and 2020 just did us dirty, man, and took you from us. In honor of Alex Trebek, let's play Bookardy. Hello Bookworm family, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Danny. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell. I can't talk today because I am posting every single day in the month of December for Vlogmas. And if you guys are not already following me on Instagram, please be sure to do that. It is at _dancing_bookworm. I post on there full book reviews and bookish content. Welcome back to Bookardy! Guys, this is my favorite video to film every month. I love filming this video. I like to see what I'm going to get to read for the next month. But before we can get into that, let's talk about the books that I was supposed to read for last month. So, here were the 7 books that I needed to read. I also had a ebook and an audiobook, so those aren't here, but I did have them. So the first one is Ink, and this was for blindfold pick. This is by Alice Broadway. I did finish reading that one. Then we had Black Flamingo, which was the audiobook that I read, and it was for the prompt, an author not from the USA. The author's from London. So that one I did read. Then I had heard about on YouTube, which was Wondersmith. This is Wondersmith, The Calling of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend, and I did read this one and loved it. You guys can see that in my wrap up next week. And then I also had, for Ugly Cover, I had Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library by Chris Gravenstein, and I did read that and also loved it. Had some really good books this month. Then I had a 2020 release, which was the ebook that I chose, and that was Little Witches by Lee Dragoon. I did finish that one. Then I had a middle grade book, which I chose to do Frazzled, Everyday Disasters and Impending Doom by Bookie Vivat. I did read that one. And then I had a book with some mental health rep or mental health underlying tones in it, and that was Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson. I have not read that one yet. However, I still have 3 or 4 days left in the month, and it is written in super short verses. Should not have a problem finishing it. So it was a successful TBR month. If something happens where I don't read Brown Girl Dreaming, I will put it in a vlog where I make another pick, but there's no reason I would not finish Brown Girl Dreaming. So I am looking forward to having a completed month. And all the books that I read this month were pretty good, so you guys definitely want to check out my wrap-up for next month where I talk more in depth about those. I mean for next week, not next month, which I guess it is next month. First Sunday of every month, I post the wrap-up for the month before. That's just my schedule. So the next thing, I'm pulling up my dice here for Bookardy. So the next thing we do is we talk about what Bookardy is. So if you guys have not seen Bookardy before, let me try to focus in on it for you. There we go. So Bookardy is based off the game of Jeopardy. This is also based off of other booktubers like Becca and the Books, Cody's Book Corner, who do TBR games. So many other people do TBR games now, and I just absolutely adore them. I watch all of them. So, but yeah, so I have Bookardy, which is based off of the game of Jeopardy. So how this works is I will roll a number on my phone, and whatever number comes up is what I have to pick. So if I get a 1, it's a silver card, 2 is an orange card, 3 is a blue card, 4 is a pink card, 5 is a green card, and I can pick them from any of the categories, so Sci-Fi Fantasy, Contemporary Realistic, Mystery, Historical, Nonfiction or Memoir, and Miscellaneous means anything, could be one of these or anything else I could think of. So if I roll the same number 3 times, then I have to pick a dreaded black card. These are some really evil things. So there's everything from double my TBR to dress as a character while I read a book, to read a book only at night, to only pick sci-fi fantasy books. So these cards are a little evil. These cards are a little evil, so we really don't want to roll the same number 3 times. The other way that I would get one of those black cards is if I did not finish a book and couldn't fit it onto this TBR, but I finished all my books from last month, so we're good. Well, except Brown Girl Dreaming, but I will get to that. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into it. Now, I do have a couple readathons. Okay, so I have one readathon that I'm participating in. It's the Reading Rivalry readathon. It's hosted through Facebook. If you guys are interested, I will post that link down below. But basically, you are on a team. You read the team with the most points at the end. So there's prompts and stuff like that. Every prompt is worth a certain amount of points. There's bonuses, all this stuff. So the team with the most points at the end is the winner. This month's theme is Yule Ball, so based off of the Harry Potter Yule Ball from Goblet of Fire. And you're getting put onto a team of like a couple, so like Hermione and Crumb, Harry and Parvati, Neville and Ginny, etc., etc. So you're getting put on one of those teams. And I don't know my team yet, but it also said that you can pick whatever you want your prompts to be based off your house, and I obviously know I'm a Ravenclaw, so I know my prompts, so I'm going to try to fit my Bookardy into that. I also have about like 5 prompts, I think, from my yearly book challenge that I do within my book journal that I have not done yet, so I need to do those. And then I also have some books on my books with a deadline that if I don't read this month, they go bye-bye. So again, I'm a little stressed with how much reading I'm gonna have to do. However, for the month of November, I had set a goal of 20 books and I'm almost there, and I still have like 4 days left, so I think it might be possible, which is crazy because it was actually a pretty crazy month. However, I think next month's going to be even crazier, which is what I'm nervous about because it's our Christmas recital. So provided we don't go orange zone and we can still have our Christmas recital, things are going to be insane. We have 4 weeks until the recital, so if we can stay open for 4 more weeks and our venue can stay open for 4 more weeks with the COVID situation, then I'm going to be crazy trying to get things ready for recital. But we're not going to stress. We're going to pick the 7 books that I have to pick for Bookardy, and then at the end of this video I'm going to see what I can fit in where and kind of figure out my TBR. I can't promise this will be a full TBR. I might have to pick some later on. But all my Bookardy picks will be announced by the end of this video. So without further ado, let's roll the dice. For our first pick is a 6. So a 6 means I can pick whatever I want. Anything, any category. It doesn't fall into any specific number. So I am going to pick, I'm going to go easy. And I'm trying to think of what I have to read. I think I'm going to do a mystery. I'm going to do a mystery. So the prompt is a book with a number in the title. This might be harder than I thought. I also did not tell you guys that I put new prompts into this as well, so there probably won't be as many repeated prompts, but right now I have to go find a book with a number in the title. Okay, so that took forever, but for a mystery book that has a number in the title, I'm going to be reading Two Can Keep a Secret by Karen M. McManus. Is it Karen M. McManus or just Karen McManus? It's one or the other. I think it's Karen M. McManus. But I'm going to be reading that. It is about a girl who moves to a small town where the homecoming queen was just killed, and right when she arrives, weird stuff starts happening, and she's thrown into this giant whirlpool of high school drama and mystery. So I did find this as an audiobook on YouTube, so I'm really crossing my fingers that there's nothing corrupt about it, like a corrupt file or something on YouTube, because I really just want to listen to it. I don't really want to read it because I didn't super love One of Us is Lying, which is the other book that she wrote before this one. But I couldn't think of anything else that would work. So I'm reading this one, but I really just want to listen to it on audiobook, so I'm hoping that the audiobook on YouTube works well. So let's figure out our next book. So let's see what our next roll is. A 2. Okay, so let's go for a number 2. We will do contemporary realistic. A book from my Amazon wish list. That means I get to buy a book. Woo woo! Okay, so I'm gonna go through my Amazon wish list. I'll post it up here somewhere so you guys can see what I'm looking at. It's actually kind of unfortunate that I got this one now because I've bought a lot of books off my Amazon wish list already this year, and at the end of December I was going to update what I wanted, so this is kind of unfortunate, but we'll see. Let's see. What do we have? What do we have? A lot of these are, I really don't have many to choose from. So, a contemporary realistic. I have The Kiss Quotient. And I have Hey Kiddo. What's Hey Kiddo about? I feel like this one's contemporary realistic. This is about, oh geez, I can't zoom in. I want to see what it's about. Let me see what it's about. Okay, so Hey Kiddo apparently is a memoir, so we can't use that one. So I think that leaves me with the Kiss quotient, which I don't really want to read. I mean, I do, but I also was going to put another romance on this month, and, you know, too much romance. So, yeah, I think that's the only one I have that would qualify as a contemporary realistic, even though it's romance, but it's the only thing that's not, like, sci-fi fantasy that's on there. So I'm gonna see what it's about really quick, but I think that this is gonna be my pick. Okay, so I think I'm going with the Kiss quotient. I'm gonna buy it probably whatever the cheapest format is, so either on Kindle or paperback, whatever one is cheaper. But it is about a girl named Stella, a woman named Stella, I guess, who is so into math, and she loves everything about math, but she has a really hard time finding people to date and stuff because she's so into her work, and she also has Asperger's. So she decides that, like, everything she needs practice, so she hires someone to practice making out with her, so that she can perfect it for when she meets someone. It sounds cute. You guys know that I am like 50-50 about straight romance, so it either has to be really, really funny for me to like it, or I just don't want to read it, because, like, I don't want to read a bunch of, like, straight sex because I'm gay, so it's not something I'm interested in reading. But I do like really funny romances, because, I mean, who doesn't love a good rom-com? Like, let's be real. Yeah, I am gonna put that on there, even though it's a romance, but it's the closest thing that I have to a contemporary realistic, and since romance isn't on here, I would say romance could either go in contemporary realistic or miscellaneous. So yeah, so I'm gonna put that one on there for my Amazon wishlist pick, but it is kind of unfortunate because I also want to read Take a Hint, Danny Brown this month, and those are both romances, and I usually, like, spread my romances out like one every 3 months, so unfortunate, but whatever. I'm also really bummed that I got that, because I literally was just like, I need to update my Amazon wish list either before Christmas or like right after Christmas when I see what I get, because I want to know what I don't have yet, and I didn't, so that sucks. But I bought a lot of books off my Amazon wish list, so I have like practically nothing on it. Anyway, so let's see what we have next. Another 2, that's not good. If we roll 2 again, we get a black card. So we will do sci-fi fantasy, since apparently I have a lot of books that I want to read that are sci-fi fantasy. So we have a random number generator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my random number generator, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shelves. So I'm going to do 9 shelves, and then I want to say on each shelf there's 20 books. So I'm going to do, the first number generator is going to be 1 through 9, whatever shelf that is that I'm going to go to, and then I'm going to do 1 through 20, and whatever book that lands on is the book I'm going to read. If it's a book that I've already read, I'm going to pick the one right to the right of it. So let's see what numbers we get. Okay, so I found a random number generator. It says true random number generator, and I'm using this one because last time I used like the Google standard one, and I feel like it just kept giving me the same numbers over and over again. So we're gonna try this one and see if it's a little bit more truer. So I've typed in 1 through 9. Let me see if I can get that to work for you guys. We're gonna hit generate, and my first number is 8. So I'm going to shelf 8, which is like my adult books and like plays, poetry, and nonfiction on my adult books, but I think there's like a couple fiction thrown in there too. So then we're gonna go, so shelf 8, and then we're gonna go 1 through 20. I wanna say there's more than 20 on that shelf, but that's okay, we'll just do 1 through 20. And then we're gonna generate that. And we got 4, so the 4th book, I can see from here, oh, I actually really want to read this book. I don't know if it's an adult book or a YA book, so I kind of just threw it on the shelf. Let me go grab it. I'm really excited about this one. So I'm super dumb. I just realized that it clearly says teen on it, so apparently it's a YA book. But the way that shelf is, it's like my YA, and then my YA stops and it goes into adult books. But like a few YA books are on that shelf because they didn't fit on the other shelves. So this one just is on that shelf. But this is called A Plague Year, and this is by, oh, I can't see his name because it's got a cover, Edward Bloor. So this, I want to see how it is based on this year, because it's literally about a world where a plague strikes. And I'll just read it to you guys because it sounds so much like this year. It says, Stage 1, it starts small. Grocery carts from the supermarket where you work go missing. People start shoplifting weird combinations of things, cleaning products, and cold remedies. But your life is mostly the same old 9th grade grind. You dream about ditching this cold, cold town and going to college in Florida, but that's years away. Stage 2, suddenly the plague has a name, meth. You never heard of it before, but now it's on everyone's lips. The cute new girl seems to know a lot about it, so you're intrigued. Stage 3, zombies appear. This is where I really thought Corona was going. I thought we were gonna have a zombie apocalypse, people, okay? Not really, but like, yeah. They have sunken red eyes, cracked lips, pale skin, rotting teeth, and outstretched hands. Other people disappear, people you know or knew. Some get arrested for using or selling or cooking. Some lose their jobs for stealing. Some die. Stage 4, epidemic. The drug that you haven't even tried has seeped into every aspect of your life. Your definitions of friends, family, and romance and normal have all changed. Cure. Is there one? No one seems to know. Part of you wants to escape, but another part, the better part, is determined to stay and fight. So I'm really excited to read this. Not that anyone wants to read about a plague right now, but I love me a good zombie book, and also I was like, this sounds way too familiar. So I'm glad this one came up because I've been wanting to read it. I don't know where it's gonna fit in some of the books that I want to read right now, but I'm hopeful for it because I think it's gonna be really good. Okay, so we have 4 more rolls and we cannot get another 2, otherwise I have to pick a black card. A 6! Okay, so this is also our second 6, so we can't get another 6 or another 2, but 6 means I can pick whatever I want, and I think I want a mystery, and I'm going to pick this blue one because it's just like sticking out to me. We got another generator. Now we have to do a random color generator, so a color generator for a mystery. This could be tough because most of my mysteries are black, so let's see what color we get. Okay, so this is the same color generator I used last time, and I think it's pretty legit, so we're just gonna go with it. So let's get it to focus in on you guys, and, oh, where did it go? Right here? Okay. Okay, so we've got, oh, I hit it twice, but that's okay, because I think I have a book that is both of these colors combined, so even more perfect, but the teal did come up first, but I think this actually might work out perfectly. Woo! So we have yellow and teal. I think I have a book for this. I'm so excited. Okay, so I do and I don't own a book for this. So what I do have is Mr. Lemoncello's Library Olympics by Chris Gravenstein. This is obviously does not have teal on it. However, the third book, which I don't own yet, but I'm going to own by the end of this month. Can I get it to focus? Focus, please. Okay, but the third book, which is this one right here, The Great Library Race, does have both teal and yellow on it. So I have to read this one first because it's the second in the series. However, I already planned on reading this, so this is perfect. I'm just going to read the third one afterwards. So this one isn't actually the one that I'm doing for Bookardy, like that TBR. I'm going to do it for something else, but it's just going to stand in the place of this one because I'm going to buy this one and it has teal and yellow. But basically this series is about a boy named Kyle Keeley who has an amazing library in his town where a bunch of cool events happen, and it's all like Disney-ified animatronics, things come to life. It's really, really cool. Very like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory-esque. So this one I have to read first, but the one that's actually going to count for this is Mr. Lemoncello's Great Library Race by Chris Gravenstein. So I'm just going to set this with the color generator for right now so that I know that that's what I'm doing, but obviously that's not the real one that I'm doing. Alright, we're going in again. We cannot get a 2 and we cannot get a 6, otherwise we have to pick a black card. No! Oh, that's the worst thing that could happen. Alright, I'm going to pick my pick, and then I'm going to pick a black card. I'm so mad. I really hope it's not double your TBR, because I'm going to be... Okay, so 6 means I can pick anything, so that's nice. What's not nice is that I have to pick a black card, so I guess gonna go miscellaneous, and I'm gonna go silver because it's easy prompt. So, one of my books from Books with a Deadline, and it's miscellaneous, so I can literally pick anything in between two. I think I know which one I want to do. Yeah, I think I have it. Okay, so I'm going to read The Card Turner by Louis C.K. This has been the book that's been on my TBR the longest. I've had it for 10 years. No, not 10 years. Has it been 10 years? No. Watch me have a moment. It has been... No. It's been 7? Holy cow. Wow, I'm old. Wow, I'm old. Anyway, wow, I'm old. This book has been... Sorry if my angle changed. My camera decided it was just going to shut off, because that's a cool thing to do, apparently. Anyway, so this book's been on my TBR for forever. This is about a boy who moves in with his uncle and discovers that he's really good and really enjoys the game of bridge, but he also is struggling with normal teenagery stuff, and develops a crush on a girl in town. It seems like it's just kind of one of those things where he's down on his luck, and he moves in with his uncle who needs his help, and he's reluctant to do it, but, you know, everything comes up roses. Kind of one of those YA books is what I'm getting a feel for, but this has been on my TBR for so long. This is back when I used to work preschool long, so 7 years. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. I can't believe I worked 7 years ago out of preschool. Oh, it seems like just yesterday. Okay, so this one is on my book with a deadline, so if I didn't read it by the end of December, I would have to unhaul it, but now it's on my TBR, so hopefully I will not have to unhaul it. So, yeah, let's see what our next roll... Oh, no! We can't see what our next roll is. I have to pick a stinking black card. So let's see what my black card is. Okay, it's not that bad. It's just add a roll. Add a roll. That's not too bad. So instead of 7 prompts, we will have 8 prompts. So that's not too horrible. I don't hate that one. It's not my favorite. But we are at 5, so now instead of rolling 2 more times, I need to roll 3 more times. So, let's find out what the next roll is. So, we have a 5. What do I want to do for 5? Let's do contemporary realistic. And we have a book about the closest upcoming holiday. Perfect. The closest upcoming holiday is Christmas. What do I have? I don't know what Christmas books I have. I'm gonna have to go look. I think I only have 1, and it wouldn't count, so I might have to buy one or find one. Probably find one on Scribd. Okay, so I'm gonna be reading the book Wishin' and Hopin' by Wally Lamb. It's 4 hours and 41 minutes on Scribd, and it sounds really cute. So it's about a 5th grader living in the 1960s, which you guys are like, oh, but it's supposed to be contemporary. No, it's supposed to be contemporary or realistic. It is a realistic plotline, just not set in the modern day. So it takes place in the 1960s, and it sounds like he is trying to focus on doing his school Christmas pageant, but a bunch of other stuff comes up in his life. It just sounds really, really cute, and I just am really excited to read it. It sounds like an easy read. I mean, it's only 4 hours long, and it was released in 2009, so it's a little bit older, but I think it sounds fun. So, yeah. So we have 2 more rolls, so let's get a rollin'. Okay. I have said in the past that if I roll the same number 3 times, I have to pick a black card. But I said if that happens more than once per game, I don't have to pick a black card. But I kind of decided before I played this round that because I've been reading so much lately, I would not keep that rule. So if I roll a 2, I will have to pick another black card, which I'm nervous about. So, I did decide that because I've noticed that pretty much every other TBR game does that. So if they like have like a color wheel or like the TBR darts, I can't remember who does that one. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'll link it down below. But pretty much everyone who has a TBR game, if they get like the same color 3 times in a row, they do another draw. But then if they get another set of 3 colors 3 times in a row, they have to do another draw. And same for like Becca and Bookopoly. Like, it's not just the first time she gets double, she has to do another draw. So I'm going to take a punishment card every time 3 numbers come up. Because, I mean, what are the odds of it happening more than once in 7 rolls? But knowing me, I just jinx myself. So anyways, if I get another 2, I have to pick another black card. Wish me luck. And I screwed myself. Shouldn't have said it. I shouldn't have said anything. I should have not said anything. Alright, so anyways, I guess we'll pick a 2. And then we're going to pick another punishment card. Why do I speak? Like, seriously, that could have been completely prevented. And it's not like I can rig this. Like, why? It's dice. Okay, so we're going to go miscellaneous, because that means anything. And it's a book from a book box. So I have quite a few books from a book box that I have not touched. Yes! I know exactly which one I want to do. It's a big book, but boy do I want to read it. Okay. So I've had this book the longest out of all my book box books, and I haven't read it yet because it's back from when like Page Habit was a thing. If you guys ever subscribed to Page Habit, they were like the first book box, and then they really got overrun by other book boxes. But it is Dreadnation by Justina Ireland. This copy that I have is annotated, signed, letter from the author. Just never picked it up, but this is about what would happen if there were zombies during the Civil War. I have wanted to read this, and I'm just on such a zombie kick lately. I just want to read all the books about the undead right now. I guess it's because I feel like a zombie lately. But this is about a girl who is fighting zombies during the Civil War era, so I've wanted to read this for a long time, so I'm glad it came up. I am not glad, however, that I now get to pick another black card. So here's my cards. This is not happening. Part of me wants to, like, pretend I didn't pick this, but that's not honest of me. Why? So, I mean, I got double my TBR picks, but I don't know if that means double my original 7 or double the 8. God, I want to cheat so bad and put it back and pretend I didn't draw it, but it's happened now. You've seen it, so clearly I chose not to cheat if you're watching this part of the video. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I think I'm just going to double the original 7, not the 8. So how many do I have right now? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7. So now I have to pick the 8, and then I have to pick 7 more. I hate my life right now. Oh my god, there's no way I'm going to do all this. Maybe? I mean, okay, I have Christmas break, but I'm probably going to get new books for Christmas. Oh, I'm going to want to read those. Maybe I should leave some blank spots for Christmas books. This is the worst thing ever. Okay. I have to start because I have 8 more draws and this video is already going to be forever. So, moving my books over, but I have room to put the other 7, or 8, because I still have the extra 1 book still too. So I have to do 8 more draws now. So, I'm going to start fresh. So, because I don't even know, what other numbers have I rolled twice? I haven't rolled 1 twice, I haven't rolled, well, okay, so this goes back to 0, and 6 goes back to 0. So my only danger zone, I don't really have a danger zone yet. Nothing else has been rolled twice. Phew. Okay, so, alright, so, I can't believe, of all the freaking numbers to come up, it gave me a 2 again. Okay, so, another 2. Okay, thank God that went back to 0. So we have 3 choices left. I guess I'm gonna go mystery. So we have Facebook pics. So I'm gonna put like 3 different books up on Facebook and let Facebook decide which one I'm reading. Okay, So, the 4 books that I picked for Facebook poll were The Girls in the Garden by Lisa Jewell, Then She Was Gone, also by Lisa Jewell, Final Girls by Riley Sager, and The Escape by David Baldacci. So these are all mysteries, so I'm going to give it till the end of this video and then check and see what one got picked. Side note, I also had to transfer all that video that I've just filmed onto my phone because I ran out of space on that camera. So yeah, this is just going really well for me this time. So let's see here, that was my 8th pick, so now I have 7 more. So many books. I don't even know if I'm gonna have enough cards by the end of this. Alright, let's see what we got. A 3. We have never had a 3 because that was from a number 1 pick. So this is good. This is good. 3 is good for me. So let's do I'm gonna be Sci-Fi Fantasy. A book that has illustrations. Easy enough, I have tons of middle grade on my shelf. So I picked a middle grade for this one, so I'm going to be reading Inkling by Kenneth Opel. This has illustrations in it, clearly, but this is about ink that basically comes off the page and comes to life and transforms into whatever it needs to be to help a friend. So, has illustrations, definitely sci-fi fantasy, works for me. Alright, so we have 6 more rolls. Here we go. A 1. This is positive. Let's do contemporary realistic. Book with a month in the title. Book with a month in the title. That is contemporary realistic. Found one. So we have My Jasper June. This is by Laurel Snyder. It is a middle grade, thank the Lord. It is about a girl who is feeling completely lost in her life, and she makes a friend with a girl named June who is also pretty much in the same place, and they form a really special bond. So it doesn't give a lot of description, but has the word June, and it's middle grade, so it should be an easy read, which at this point is really what I'm going for. So our next roll, let's see. Another 1. We can't get another 1. Cannot get another 1. Okay. We're gonna stay calm. We are going to pick Sci-Fi Fantasy. And it is Mom Pick. So I'm probably gonna do this at the end of the video and break it down to her, and then I'll show you guys, or I'll show you guys now which ones I'm going to let her pick from, but then I'm going to let her pick at the end of the video and then just insert the clip here. Okay, so the 4 choices I'm going to give my mom are Many Waters by Madeleine L'Engle. This is the 5th in the Wrinkle in Time trilogy, or 4th in the Wrinkle in Time, not trilogy, quintet. 4th in the Wrinkle in Time quintet. Can't speak. Okay, then October Moon by Michael Scott. Conceal Don't Feel by Jen Kalanita, and this is one of the Twisted Tale books. And then Pet by I can say it. Hold on. Does it tell me how to say it? I don't want to get it wrong. Akweke Emezi. So we'll see which one she picks. I have a feeling she's going to do Conceal Don't Feel because she knows I like wintry reads in the wintertime, but we'll see. Okay, so we got Mom Pick under Sci-Fi Fantasy. So you can pick October Moon, which is about a werewolf. You can pick Many Waters, which is one of the Wrinkle in Time books. You can pick Pet, which is about monsters taking over a town. Or you can pick Conceal Don't Feel, which is a Twisted Tale version of Anna and Elsa.
Okay, no.
Oh, that's the one you were going to pick.
And no, I like water, so I'm picking the water one.
The Many Waters?
Yep.
I really thought you were going to pick the Anna and Elsa one.
Oh, well, too bad.
Okay, so I have to film at this angle for this because I realized if I wait till the end to do Mom Pick, then you can see the rest of the board and know what happens ahead of time. So I have to film like this. Okay, so my mom picked Many Waters by Madeline Lee Engel. This is part of the Wrinkle in Time series, and this one takes place about Sandy and Dennis, so Meg's brothers, and they get taken into an experiment that brings them back to Noah's Ark, I think. I don't know super much about it, but I believe that's what happens, because I remember reading it and thinking that I would like that one best because I really like the story of Noah's Ark. She had to be difficult, man. I really thought she was going to pick that Anna and Elsa one. Alright, moving on to our next pick. We have a 2, okay? We're literally running out of 2s here. Okay, so how many more picks do I have? 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the 8th. Then we need 7 more. 1, 2, 3. I only need 4 more. 4 more picks. So this one, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the bonus 8. Then we have 1, 2, 3. I have 4 more that I need to pick. So this will be my 4th one. So, God, I don't want any of these. I guess we'll go historical. Oh, thank God. A middle grade historical. I have the perfect one. It's short, it's simple, phew. Okay, so I picked I Survived the Attacks of September 11th, 2001 by Lauren Tarshish. This is part of the I Survived series. This is the next one that I have to read about it. It is about a boy who wants to be a firefighter, and it says when Lucas's parents decide football is too dangerous and he needs to quit, he has to talk to his biggest fan. On a whim, he takes the train to the beautiful city. It's bright and beautiful in New York, but just as Lucas arrives at the firehouse, everything changes. So it's about the day the attacks of 9/11 happened. So it's easy, middle grade. I needed that. Okay, so let's see what our next one is. A 5. Oh, thank God. Okay, so let's do, I'm just gonna hit up miscellaneous. Book with a romantic pairing. Okay. Okay, I think I know which one I'm going to use for this. Okay, so for this one I'm going to be reading Take a Hint, Danny Brown by, oh my gosh, who wrote it? I know this off, I know who wrote this. Who is it? Talia Hibbert. Talia Hibbert. So I wanted to read this because I never find a character named Danny in like anything other than the Hocus Pocus book I read. So I'm very excited about this. This is about a girl who, she only wants a friends with benefits situation, but she accidentally goes viral during a fire drill with a guy and people think that they're together, so she decides to play it off as a real romance even though she's really just looking to get into bed with him. So it sounds funny, which again, that's the only kind of straight romance books I like to read are funny ones. So I'm excited to read it, and I already downloaded it on my Kindle because I had like a Kindle coupon, so I downloaded it using that. So that's what I'm going to read for that one. 2 more to go. A 4. I don't think we've had a 4 yet. We have not had a 4 yet. That's very exciting. Let's do, I'm going to stick to miscellaneous because at this point that's what I need. Okay. Oof. Not my favorite one. A book I was supposed to read in high school. So I've said before in many videos, I was a very slow reader growing up. So I did a lot of skimming, not actually reading in high school. There were books that I started and really, really enjoyed and wanted to finish, but I just ran out of time. Like, you only get so much time to read certain chapters, so I'd have to like spark note it and wasn't able to finish it because then we'd already be on to the next book, which is what sucks about reading in school, honestly. But I think I have some books that'll work for this. I'm not really happy about this prompt because there's one book that I really wanted to work in and I only have one more chance to do it, and I don't think it's gonna happen, and that makes me super sad. So okay, so the one that I chose was The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I know, I've never read The Great Gatsby. I've also never seen the movie. I saw like the old movie when we watched it in school. But yeah, no, this was just one of those situations where I did not read as fast as the teacher wanted me to, so unfortunately I never got the chance to actually finish it. I got like halfway through and then we were already on to the next book. So I'm going to be reading this one. If you guys don't know what it's about basically like a really wealthy, aristocratic type 1920s scene, and a guy moves there and befriends Jay Gatsby, who's kind of like this big deal, and he's in love with Daisy from across the street, but Daisy's married, and it's just kind of like a whirlwind of love, romance, passion kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm excited to read this, but I'm really hoping I can get this last book in, because there's a book that I really wanted to read this month. It's not on here yet. Okay, so last roll, hopefully, unless I have to pick another black card, which, okay, last roll. A 1, right? That wasn't my third time getting a 1, right? No, because, was it? I don't remember if this is my third time getting a 1 or not. It was my third time getting a 1. It means I have to pick another black card. Why did I change the rules? Why would I do that to myself? That was so dumb. Okay, well, anywho, I guess we'll go nonfiction memoir, since we don't have any of those on there yet. A graphic novel. I literally only have one graphic novel that's a nonfiction memoir, and I want to reread it anyway, so that works out. Okay, so I read this book last year, I think, for Pride Month, but it is Fun Home by Allison Bechdel. This is a graphic memoir of her life growing up knowing that she's a lesbian and having a father who's like abusive and anxious and depressed because he's closeting his own feelings for things. So I've read this before, really enjoyed it. I'm not mad that I have to reread it because I think I read it in one sitting last time too, so what I am mad about again is another black card. Okay, I'm gonna shuffle these. You guys can see that I'm shuffling them. Okay. Because there's like things in here that like wouldn't be too bad. It's like read a book not in your room. Read a book only at night. Like those things I feel like wouldn't be that bad. And I wouldn't have to draw any more cards. So. What does that say? Are you freaking serious? Do you guys see what that says? Like, no! I wanna! Like, look at. That's another one that's in there. Read an entire book dressed as a character. Let me show you some other ones. We have only pick historical fiction. You know what? I wouldn't have had to do anything with that because I already picked out my book. Finish a series. Yeah, that's not that bad. I could have done that with one of these books that I already have. Are you freaking serious that I got 3 more stinking rolls? So, pick 3 extra books. Great. I'm going to now, because it's not even, like, possible for me to do it, eliminate the rule, since it's happened 3 times where I'd have to pick a black card, because I only have 1 orange left. So, I'm just gonna roll. If I get more than 1 orange or more than 1 silver, I'm just going to go down to whatever the next thing is, I guess. So yeah. We have a 3. I can do 3. We'll do miscellaneous. Dystopia. I don't know if that book will count for dystopia. I don't think it will. Maybe it will. I don't think it will. It'd be really stretching it. After all this, I should get to pick a book. Like, for real. In a month where I'm supposed to be reading about Santa Claus, I'm reading, like, zombie books and, like, books of death and destruction. Cool. So I picked Bleeding Earth by Caitlyn Ward, right? This count? Yeah, because it's miscellaneous. This has been on my TBR twice now, and both times it's gotten passed over, so I will make this a priority this time. But this is about a girl who only cares about her girlfriend at this point. Like, she just wants to spend time with her, live their lives together, but the earth starts bleeding, and monsters start coming out, and she's all of a sudden in a survival mode, and has to try to find a way to keep her and her girlfriend alive. So that's cool, that's cool. So we have, what, 2 more? So the book that I wanted to read was a horror, and as you can see, there's no more miscellaneous on here, and I don't really count horror as sci-fi fantasy. I guess I could, because I think it's about ghosts, but then if it's not about ghosts, then it's not fantasy. Like, you know, like, if there's, like, a twist at the end where, like, the whole time you're thinking it's about ghosts, and then it turns out to be a person, then it's not a fantasy anymore. So that's my problem with horror. Like, I keep classics mostly here and horror mostly here. But all those prompts are gone, so the one book I wanted to read this month, not on here. And probably not gonna have time to fit it in. So let's roll the last 2 rolls. Got a 6. Okay, I'm gonna go with Sci-Fi Fantasy in pink. An author who's new to me. Thank God. This one, this is a wide range for me. So a Sci-Fi Fantasy with an author who is new to me. Cool. I see. Okay, so I have Wake by Lisa Mcmahon. This is obviously an old used book, but this is about a girl who can travel into people's dreams, and she accidentally gets sucked into a nightmare where somebody has a very twisted psyche, and she becomes a participant of the nightmare instead of just an observer. So this sounds cool. I've never read anything by this author before, so we'll see how I like it, but it also seemed fairly short, so that was one of my main reasons for picking it. And finally, folks, last roll. A 5. I don't think we had 3 5s anyway, but even if we did, I'm not counting it because I've already picked 3 black cards. So, we're gonna go. I'm just gonna go mystery. I have a lot of mystery on here, but celebrity read. So a book that a celebrity read that I too would like to read. So please hold. Okay, I've literally never heard of this book before, but I am tired. It was the only one I could find on a celebrity's page that would work for a mystery that seemed short enough like I could handle it. So I went on to Chloe Lukasiak. She was on Dance Moms, if you guys don't know who she is. She's also done a bunch of music videos. She was in the movie Center Stage on Point. I knew she was a big reader from the show Dance Moms, and she suggested the book Little White Lies by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and it looks like it's a YA book about kids in a, like, debutante society, I guess, and it's a mystery that takes place there. I don't really know what the mystery's about, it doesn't say, but that's what I'm going with. So let's wrap up here, folks, and see what it is I'm dealing with. Okay, I literally just sat here for a half an hour trying to figure out what book can go with what prompt for my other reading things that I have to do, and I'm screwed. But anyway, let's go through what I have. So the first book was a book with a number in the title, and I am reading Two Can Keep a Secret. I'm not going to say the author's names for all of these because I've already said them. The next one is Amazon Wishlist. I am reading The Kiss Quotient. This is all for Bookardy, by the way. And let me see, do any of these match up with ones that I'm doing for Reading Rivalry? Because I should say that. So I'll say Reading Rivalry afterwards. I think it's just going to be easier that way. So random number generator, we got A Plague Year. For color generator, we got the third of the Mr. Lemoncello books, so it's Mr. Lemoncello's Great Library Race. Then we have a book with a deadline. We have Card Turner. And then we have a book about the closest upcoming holiday. We have an audiobook I'm listening to Wishin' and Hopin'. A book from a book box. We have Dreadnation. Facebook picks. So, Facebook, I just looked at the comments. I didn't put in a special clip, sorry. I said I was going to and I didn't. But I just looked at the comments and you can see that nobody could decide on a book. So 3 people commented 3 different books. So I'm just gonna go with the one that the first person commented, which is going to be Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. And this is about a girl who is a perfect daughter and then she goes missing, and it says 10 years after her disappearance, her mother is trying to put her life back together when she meets a charming man at a cafe. Before she knows it, she meets Floyd's daughter, the youngest Poppy, takes Laurel's breath away because eerily precocious Poppy is the splitting image of Allie. So creepy. So that's the one that Facebook picked. Then we have a book with illustrations. We're doing Inkling. A book with a month in the title, My Jasper June. Mom pick, Begrudgingly, Many Waters. A middle grade book, I Survived the Attacks of September 11th, 2001. A celebrity read, what is it called? Little White Lies Little White Lies. New to me author, Wake. A dystopia book, Bleeding Earth. Graphic novel, Fun Home. A book I was supposed to read in high school, The Great Gatsby. And a book with a romantic pairing, I am doing Take a Hint, Danny Brown. So those are all the ones that Bookardy had chose for me. So let me tell you guys what I'm doing for reading Rivalry. So my first prompt for reading Rivalry is a reread, so I'm using Fun Home for that. Then I have read late at night, so any book I can do that as long as I read it late at night, which you guys know I pretty much only read late at night, so that's not a hard one to fulfill. Then a book with myths and legends, so I'm using Many Waters because there are Christian elements in this, but I also looked it up and some of the stuff that is in it is considered mythology in other religions, and there's some stuff that is like borderline mythology in Christian religions, so I'm just going with it because I think it'll work for the prompt because I've read other Wrinkle in Time books and there's a lot of like myth and legend kind of stuff within it. So then a guilty pleasure book. I'm using Take a Hint, Danny Brown for that because like I said, straight romance is my guilty pleasure. For winter book, I am doing Wishin' and Hopin', which is the one that I have to read for the closest upcoming holiday prompt anyway. Then for a book that was adapted, I'm doing The Great Gatsby. And then for a book with a blue cover, I'm doing Plague Year. It's blue. And then I have a book where the character plays an instrument, and I honestly won't know until I read the books because I didn't like fully read the backs of some of them, so I don't know if the characters play an instrument or not. However, if none of the characters do play an instrument, there are other prompts I can choose from that would probably fit one of the books, so I'm not really worried about that one right now. I'm just kind of skipping over it, and if by chance a character plays an instrument, then I will put it in there. If a character does not play an instrument, then I will just pick one of the other prompts because there was like a whole bingo board full of prompts. You only had to pick 10, and I thought that one would be an easy prompt, but I don't actually know if any of the characters play an instrument, so we'll find out. And then Excellent Problem Solver, we have The Library Olympics. So this is the second of the Mr. Lemoncello books, and this is the one that I said didn't count for Bookardy, but will count for reading Rivalry. And then we have Spends All Day in a Library. That's what I'm using, the one that also counts for Bookardy, which is The Great Library Race. So then we get to my yearly book challenge prompts that I'm supposed to finish. And one of them is a book of short stories, which I have not read a book of short stories yet this year. However, I think I can audiobook one, so I'm not stressing too hard because I might even be able to audiobook one before December when I have this mess going on. Anyway, the next one is a book published the year I was born. So October Moon was published the year I was born, which is why I kind of threw it in my mom pick, and I knew she wasn't going to pick it because it's so not her cup of tea, but thought I'd throw it in there anyway. If I have time, I'll get to it. If not, if the yearly challenge prompts don't get finished, I have to put them on next year's yearly challenge prompts, so it's not like a huge punishment. It just goes into my 2021 prompts, but like, you know, you want to get to them. So the next one is a book recommended by a stranger. So I'm counting Then She Was Gone for this because the person who recommended it to me, yes, she's my Facebook friend, but I only know her because her daughter danced at the dance studio and she hasn't danced there in a year, and I really only knew her from like dropping off and picking up her daughter. We never like talked, or like she just comments on like book posts that I do because she's a big reader, but that's all I know about her. Like literally know nothing about her. So I'm counting it as recommended by a stranger. And then it was movie to book, so a book that was a movie first. Again, I don't know what would even work for that. So that one will probably just get transferred over unless, like, I don't know, like, I think when I was writing them, I was thinking, like, the Twisted Tale books, but I've read a bunch of Twisted Tale books, and they're not like the movie at all. So I'm thinking more of, like, a book that was literally, like, translated from the movie. So, like, a movie companion novel or whatever they're called. So maybe I can find one on audiobook, but I doubt it. And then a book that takes place in space. I got nothing. So again, maybe I can find something on audiobook, but I doubt it. And then 2 books that I would like to read this month. Well, okay, there's 3 books that I'd like to read this month, but one I am just literally saying no until January, and that's the one that I really wanted to read this month, but it's a horror book anyway, so, and I know that I need that for my readathon that I'm hosting in January, so just gonna put it aside for right now. But the 2 books that I want to read this month, if I can get to them, which I doubt it, are Conceal Don't Feel, and also Stay Gold by Toby McSmith, sorry. And the reason I want to read that one is because it's the buddy read for the Reading Rivalry group, so like everybody's going to be reading that, so I kind of want to read it, but hopefully I can just find it on audiobook. So many of these I'm like, I hope I can just find it on audiobook. Anyway, yeah, so that's the situation. So let's count how many books I have to read for both of my readathons. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 for just Bookardy. Really? That was 18? Crud. Okay, so that's 18 for just Bookardy. And then ones that are not repeated would be, so 19. 19 books that I have to read. 21 if I get to the 2 that I want to read. It's a lot of books, man. It's a lot of books. This month so far I've read 13. I will have 15 done by the end of the month for sure, hopefully 16. Hopefully 17, actually, because now I'm thinking of another one that I want to read this month before I get to this. So, anyway, that was The Evil of Bookardy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys like pray for me that I can get through all these. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Bye!
Wasn't that a great video? Clearly books make me very happy. Now you can make me happy too. Click the subscribe button to follow my channel. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you think I did good. And the notification bell will let you know when I post new content. Also, follow my Instagram for more book shenanigans.